So, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Daisy Hall. I'm a writer, and yeah, playwright, and yeah, I live in Cardiff.
So, uh, where where would you be able to tell us about your show?
Of course, yeah, my play is called Bellringers, and it's a two-hander. It's sort of set in a weird kind of version of the past, full of omens and storms. And it's about these two bell ringers because they used to believe that you could break up thunderstorms by ringing church bells, and because of the spires and like wet bell ropes and stuff, they would get struck by lightning in quite high numbers and die. So the play is set in like a version of the past where this is happening more and more. And yes, the play is about these two bell ringers waiting to ring the bells during a storm. And yeah, it's kind of weird and dark and hopefully funny. And yeah.
That's great, thank you. And where can we find your show?
So it'll be on at the oh my god. Do you edit this? Because I just am absolutely blanking.
I can if like I try
Anyway,
not to, but if you particularly ask, I will do.
can you edit out this huge pause while I just think in my mind? Yeah, the play will be on at the roundabout. Oh my god, I've got to find the time. This is what I should have written down. Um, at God, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Don't want to get the time wrong. I'll be in big trouble. So here we go. The play will be on at the roundabout at 1:15 every day, apart from Tuesdays, for the whole of the Fringe.
That's brilliant, thank you. And have you ever done the Fringe before?
No, I
Oh,
haven't. I've never taken a show there, but I've also never been there, and I always wanted to go. Like I love comedy, and I love kind of weird comedy that I used to hear on the radio when I was growing up, and they would always talk about things being um like fresh from the Fringe, and it just seemed like this magical place. So I'm really excited to go and to take a show there, but also to see some shows.
yeah, I've never been to the Fringe. I'm hopefully trying to go this year, but
Oh,
that's like working out a bit impossible because of work and stuff. So I'll hopefully try and pop down for about 4 days.
oh, brilliant!
So
Yeah, nice.
so so have you been given any advice for your time at the for like your time at the Fringe when you go? That
I haven't. No. Not. I mean, in terms of like going as a punter, my friend said, don't book too much stuff. Just go with the flow, see what you find. So I'm excited for that. But maybe that's a bad idea. But I've not booked anything yet. But I'm also quite disorganized. In terms of taking the show, I mean, I am not going to be that involved once we get there because, as the writer, I'm going to be involved in rehearsals and then I will be there to see it. But I actually, at that point, my job's kind of done and there's nothing much more I can do. So, yeah, I'll just be like being there. I think, unless, last minute dramatic edits are needed. But I think that's hopefully that won't happen.
it's just sort of taking in the atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping to be able to just enjoy it. I think the first couple of days I'll be quite nervous, but then after that, yeah, I'm hoping to just. And my family are coming up to see the show, so we're gonna go and see some stuff, and yeah, that'll be nice.
So have you found anything sort of challenging that about taking the show up there and like even from a writer's perspective?
Well, hmm, it's weird because I wrote a play first like 2 years ago, and it's been a long process to get to here, a lot of redrafting. Um, but that was mainly just fun. And yeah, just enjoyable. We're going into rehearsals in 2 weeks. So maybe at that point. I mean, there was I cut the play down from it was a little bit longer before, and we really wanted to. I mean, it needed to be shorter. So that was kind of challenging because the play's quite like things are interwoven. Um, like you take out one thing at the beginning and then you realize a joke at the end doesn't work, and like making it shorter without ruining it was kind of tricky, but um but also fun, I do enjoy it, so it wasn't too bad, but maybe there are challenges ahead, who knows.
Definitely. Who would you say would be your sort of dream audience member?
Oh, interesting. um oh, that's really tricky. I don't know. I think some I suppose you want someone who is, because the Fringe is so at least in my head is so full of like comedy and stuff. I feel like um you might get an audience that's really kind of ready to laugh, which will be good, because I hope the play is funny, and that kind of balances out the 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 sort of seriousness and the darkness in it. But then you hope that they'll go along with the kind of the the other bits, the non-funny bits. Um, but I think there are so many comedy shows. I mean, my favorite like comedians and comedy shows have that kind of mix of darkness and light, and I feel like it's more and more common. So I feel like hopefully, yeah, people are yeah, enjoy that kind of vibe and are ready to engage with it.
Um, well, have you got a sort of a list of like your top three items that you'll take to the fringe, like a survival kit, as it were? Because I've heard like water, good shoes, and stuff like that. Have you sort of heard of anything?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm about to wear through my favorite pair of shoes, and I've been holding off on getting some replacements, and it's gonna be I need to do that. But all my shoes are comfortable shoes, so I'm covered there.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. I don't really know what to expect. I guess it'll be August, but I think yeah, lots of walking around. So comfortable shoes. Uh, that's all. I mean, that was your idea, but I think it's a great one. I'm holding on to that hard as a thing. Uh, and a map. I'm very very bad at navigating, so I guess I'll need that.
So, as you probably know, with the fringe, usually you do flight ring. Have you got anything like any thoughts on like how you're gonna fly, say, differently?
Um, I actually don't know what's going on with the flyers. Because I'm working like as a producer and stuff, and I don't know what their plans are. I mean, we've got a beautiful um, poster designed by Kieran Walsh that is um, I love that. I hope people will see. But yes, flyering. I'm not sure. I mean, I if they send me out to flyer, I'll gladly do it. But I have no schemes as of yet.
So, what would you say this slightly different going away from the fringe? What would you say your most like theatrical or comedy experience has been like as an adult or a child?
Like, what was the best or
Yeah.
like most okay? Well, because I grew up in a small town, I didn't really see a lot of theatre growing up, and um, when and a lot of my theatre, like as a young adult, was through the National Theatre live screenings. I used to go and see all of those, and one of the biggest like moments for me with that was seeing Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, which I just at the time I was like, oh my God, this is so cool, and I absolutely loved it. And I just thought it was so clever and funny and profound, and I loved that so much. That was a big one. But then a lot of my influences did come from like the radio, and um I really loved Tim Key, the comedian and like poet, and he has a show called Tim Key's Late Night Poetry Program. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was sitting on my bedroom floor as a teenager, and it came on, and I was just like, what is this? This is just the best thing I've ever heard. This is my stuff, and it's like that thing when you're finding out like what you like taste wise. It's just so exciting, and it was this thing that like none of my friends were into, but I was like, this is me. Um, so that was I have that memory like burned in my head.
What would you say that's your sort of favourite moment?
Hmm. Um, Definitely one of the most memorable because it was that kind of like lightning bolt, like wow thing. Um, and then yeah, favorite moment. It's tricky.
It really is, isn't it? It's just like sometimes, like for me, it might be a moment that I've seen a show even recently,
Mm,
or like it could be like when I was a kid. It's just like you pick up different things, don't you? Really, just like you think, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Like
yeah.
I saw Cabaret in West End for the first time about a month ago, and like I thought that was so surreal. It was like completely different to anything else I've seen, but that memory will stay with me for a good long time.
I'm so sorry. You just broke up for a second and I missed the actual memory. What was it?
Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club in the West End.
Wow. Oh, nice. Wonderful. Yeah, I went to see Strategic Love Play at Soho recently, and it has. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's finished. But there's this moment. Have you seen it?
I haven't, no.
There's this moment where something really surreal and unexpected happens with the set, and it surprised me so much. I was just like, um, and yeah, I don't want to say it because it was the joy was in the surprise for me, but it was just so cool, and that really stuck with me. Like those moments of like surprise are so wonderful.
It's so amazing, like with like all the like with the set design and with everything. Every production has so many people working on it. It's just it makes it what it is. It's like I saw 222 A Ghost Story last week, and the ending is not what you expected at all. It's completely different. I'm not going to spoil it.
I got my friend to spoil it for me the other day. I love spoilers, but yes, I won't spoil it either. None of us will spoil it. But I heard it's very good. I listened to his podcast, like Uncanny, the podcast about that Danny Robbins, who wrote it. He does have this podcast about ghosts. Have you come across it?
I've not, no. I didn't
Oh,
actually know about that.
it's great. It's like for half an hour every time I fully believe in ghosts. I'm like, oh my God, like ghosts are real. And then it ends and you go back to your normal life. But it's just, oh, it's really cool.
It was quite it was sort of unexpected because I've never like seen it before.
Mm,
So it was just sort of, oh, I didn't expect that, and then it it was good. I think I prefer sort of like musicals or like I prefer comedy more. It would
yeah,
just didn't have enough comedy in for me, I don't think.
yeah, yeah. Ghost stories and comedy may be hard to, I'm sure it can be done.
So, if you could have like a dinner party with anybody sort of famous or well known, who do you think it would be, like past or present?
Whoa. Oh my, okay. This is very difficult. I would love uh, Kim Key has got to be there. Um, and past or present. Um, hmm. I got really obsessed with the Beatles, like um, in the last couple of years. I wouldn't mind having all of the Beatles there because I think if you just bring one or two or three, it's not the same. It's got to be all of the Beatles. There we go, all of the Beatles and Tim Key. I think that's the perfect dinner party. I can't imagine anything would go wrong. No arguments. Perfect.
What's your favourite sort of Beatles song?
Um, well, it changes. I really love Long, Long, Long from the White Album, which is like the yeah, I find that really moving. Um, uh, yeah, we'll go with that one for now. It'll change tomorrow.
I think Paul McCartney's going back on tour. I think I saw something.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Are you a Beatles fan? Have you got a favorite Beatles song?
Probably. Um, I do like While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Mm. Hmm.
Um, I used to be a really massive Beatles fan when I was younger, and I saw Paul McCartney probably about 14 years ago, I think it was.
Wow, how was it?
It was really good. I'm trying to find out when it was quickly because it was so long ago. It was so long ago. It was. I remember it. Like he brought out Dave Grohl
Hmm.
because
Oh,
so
nice.
long ago, I can't remember when it was. Soon if I can find it quickly. It was 9 years ago. That was quite some time ago.
Yeah. I mean, 9 years ago, what's that? 2015. Oh, that's mad.
And you know what was amazing? He didn't have any like support act or anything.
Wow. I hear he does. Did it? Was it a lot of Wings? A lot of Wings stuff.
It was everything: Beatles, Wings, his own stuff.
Nice.
Um, Live and Let Die was so good. Like the use of like pyro and stuff was amazing.
Yeah, that must have been so cool. I can imagine that.
I just literally found a picture on Facebook. You might be able to see that.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool.
It was so long ago. Is there any other sort of music that you enjoy? Sort of?
I am really into folk music. I used to go to folk clubs with my dad when I was growing up, and I still do when I'm back home. And I really, I'm really excited by what's happening in folk music at the moment, with bands like Lankum and John Francis Flynn and Lisa O'Neill and this kind of stuff that's very like drony and ominous and like mixing very traditional folk music with like this ominous dread is really I really find it very like profound, and I also like feel like it's kind of that's what I'm kind of going for in my writing, like this, especially in Bell Rings. I think this mix of like folklore and dread and yeah, I love that stuff. So that's and I saw Lankum at a festival, and it was one of the best live music experiences of my life. I sort of ascended spiritually for a while. It was good.
It is so amazing what music can do, even like in like a theatre setting or in a comedy setting. It just sort of changes like the aspect.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So, if people wanted to find out more about you, where can they find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as uh, Daisy Hall 96. Um, and that's about it. Yeah. Um, although I must say I do not tweet apart from sort of shameless show promotion. So it's not hugely interesting, but I am there. And yeah.
So, I'm starting to sort of wrap up my chat. Why in three words should people come and see your show? Or you can do like a sort of pitch if you want to.
Well, I think the show is, you know, I hope the show is weird, moving, and funny. So if you like those things, um, then you might like it. And there's a lot about mushrooms in it. Just mushrooms are just very interesting. So if you like that, uh, that could be your jam. So yeah, there we go. Mushrooms is an extra word.
Uh, that's great, thank you. Would you be able to send me the press release so I can add it to my website?
Sure thing. I will get hold of that for you. Um, press release. No problem.
I've got one more question to ask you. What would be your favourite line in your play?
Oh, that's Oh, okay. Oh my God. I worry I'll say a line and then it'll get cut during rehearsals. Time. It's a good line.
It could be anything like
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, it's sort of hard to pick out one and take it in isolation. And I've just been editing the play this morning, so all I can think of is is lines that I've just looked at. Um, there's a bit where they're talking about, all the things all the plans they have for the summer, and this might come out, but at the moment, they're one of them says, "You wanted to train the goat," and I find that quite funny. Goats, can you train goats? They do goat yoga, so maybe you can. I mean, that is not my favorite line, Tim, but I'm gonna have to go with that because I can't remember anything that happens in my play at all.
yeah,
I've
that's
not learned to quote it. It's a good thing I don't have to act in it because we'd be in trouble.
I can't act either. I'll probably be hiding somewhere, like in the wings or something. So I've got one more thing. I'll do this for every guest I have. Is can you think of a question that I can ask my next sort of guest?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Mm, yeah. Will it be someone going to the fringe?
Not necessarily. It probably will be. I can't remember who I've got tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to ask your next guest. Um, well, I guess it depends. And if it's like, will it be a play that they're putting on, or could it be like a stand-up or something?
It is a play, yes.
Okay. Do they have a favorite character in their play, or is that do they love them all equally?
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Thank
Well, I
you.
wish you the best of luck. Let me know how it goes. Maybe you can pop on after you've been to Edinburgh, and we can sort of have a debrief sort of thing and just a chat.
Ah, brilliant. Thank you so much. Great.
Yeah, best of luck. Let me know how it goes, and I'll hopefully speak to you soon.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tim.
That's
Bye.
okay. Bye.